Robot Soccer project was really an integration project using the VEX and robotics software. Set, go. They had to use motors and sensors to be able to perform tasks. So we used the soccer project to be able to test maneuverability and so forth, and integration of sensors and motors and coding. To see and understand how there's more involved in just daily automation than what they really think. There's a lot of planning and a lot of integration between motors and software and so forth that can be adjusted as need be.
So the Robot Soccer project was a lot of fun. There was a lot of work involved with it, but the end result with the game and the match was so much fun.
Back up, Garrett.
The class really teaches you a lot about robotics and the different branches of engineering, and this project itself let us work with VEX Robotics a lot more and let us go in depth with the programming and controllers and maneuverability of the course itself, and see the limits of the robot itself and understand it more.
All right, so the Enlightenment TikToks, they were an idea that kind of came from, we did a project that was like just a worksheet-based thing, and it wasn't very fun, so a couple years ago, all right, we thought TikTok was gonna get banned or something, so I wanted to do a project with it, and the kids know how to work it, I don't know how to work it, I don't have a TikTok. So it became a really creative way for kids to kind of, show off what they know about the Enlightenment thinkers at a really high level.
Obviously, don't go and do that.
Hey, you do whatever you like.
We can't condone anything of the sort.
No, we can't. Live!
While also getting to show the personalities and have a little bit of fun with something in history that truthfully can be quite boring, like Enlightenment theories. I don't know, but when you tell kids, hey, we're gonna make TikToks with Enlightenment theories, they go crazy. Learn a lot, and they get a lot out of it. We've had some really good submissions, which you'll see here in a second. And we've had some kids do really, really good jobs with it over the years. At the end of the day, all of them ended up showing the idea of the Enlightenment thinkers and showed that they understood them and showed them at a really high level, which is something I couldn't get out of a normal assignment. So it's been a pretty good one for, the past few years, and as long as they don't ban TikTok, we'll keep doing it.
Hi, my name is Landon. And my name is Cameron. And we learned that John Locke believed that we should overthrow the government if they're not giving us our three natural rights. For TikTok, we showed the beliefs of John Locke by beating up Kelly as he played the role of Omar.
I read Sheminsky and I learned about gravity, and I like the challenges of creating the video.
So the goal of this project was for the students to be able to explore the scientific method and develop some hypotheses, and then design their own experiments to try to evaluate those hypotheses. In this case, they were building paper airplanes, and there were a lot of different designs and a lot of different ideas that the students brought to this, but most of the students by the end of the experiment had improved their designs, and I think did a really good job of experimenting and recording their results. And I mentioned this to Jacob, but his performance was by far the best I've ever seen. In the last 3 or 4 years, I've never had an airplane that stayed up in the air for 12 seconds. And it was really neat to see that innovation and the research that they did to produce that high-performing plane.
The main thing that I learned was just the little details count, the little folds and how you throw it, and the way the wind hits it is just really important. Also learned that the way you throw it, and the way you position these parts right here, make it either fly straight, turn in a circle, and then how you fold these up keeps the lift up so it doesn't drop down nosedive. Weight distribution was a big thing too. If you end heavy, the plane will also just go straight down. but if balanced the weight, it would float for a long time.
The Pond Water Microscope Lab is a lab I do every year so that students are able to have a hands-on activity to actually be able to visualize the different types of cells as opposed to just looking at pictures and diagrams in their books and on their Chromebooks. And the first part of the lab, students will look at an example of an animal cell. So for this one, we use human liver cells. And then the second part, they look at plant cells. It's onion root cells. And then after that, they'll get some pond water, and they're looking for different microscopic organisms that they can find in the pond water. We see all kinds of things every year, but the main thing I want students to look for are organisms called water bears, which the name of them are actually tardigrades. And water bears are awesome. They're almost indestructible. They pretty much can survive any condition, but they're really hard to find. And this year we actually only found one water bear. It's a tardigrade. First group to find a water bear right here. Bonus points. Let me see it.
Okay,
Yeah.
we most definitely found a
We
water
did
bear.
see a water bear, but Mr. Bazanson said it wasn't, but we still get bonus points.
We tested our hair because mine's dead and hers isn't, and it looked different, so it was cool.
I've never dyed my hair and she did, and you could see like the difference.
The split ends.
Just overall, I think it's a good, fun activity that gets kids out of their seats and helps them to be able to learn a little bit more about cells and see the different types of cells and the different organelles. Like we see flagella and cilia, which are used for movement, and a lot of the microscopic organisms are swimming around. And it's just a good, fun activity that I do every year.